Yes,
Or
yes.
you have,
Earlier I was at district office, now transferred to state office.
Yes.
Still my
you
work
have,
is going on.
you have working very hard. That's why you are
Yes.
so busy that it has been impossible for you to come here.
Yes.
That's what I think. But that's great.
Yes.
Congratulations on your work.
Thank you, thank you. Today is our ministry meeting and all my colleagues, they are doing some work for today's meeting. That's why I have to stay at my office and complete that work.
Okay, that's good.
But I only joined, Roxana just sent me message that you joined. So I joined here. But I really don't know what is the topic of today, but I will participate.
Feedback. It's about feedback. To
Yes.
create a culture of feedback in the classroom. I think that it is very interesting, especially you are working very hard. And I think that everybody is here
Yes.
is trying to implement what we have been discussing here for a long time. So it's great to share these ideas.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
I'm starting now. We're starting today's 20th episode of the weekly roundtable session organized by We Bangladesh chapter. Greetings from everyone, home and abroad. In fact, from the time of COVID-19 till today, we have been holding meeting, training, small workshop, and discussions on education globally to improve the quality of education and learning through the cooperations of everyone. The sole purpose of bringing these works together is to build a developed nations through advanced education, ensuring quality of education by creating talented human resource. I think that especially it is never possible to create creative human resource to monotonous study alone. With that goal in mind, we have set today's topic of creating a classroom cultures of feedback. Teachers from home and abroad have joined us. We will now hear from our negotiators about today's topic. With today's topic in mind, I have raised some questions that we will hear from our negotiators. I will come to, first of all, I will come to Patricia.
Okay, well, let's start with this very interesting topic. And it is important to create a culture of feedback in the classroom, especially today that we are implementing active methodologies. Okay, highly effective teachers create teachable moments because they are able to produce great outcomes as they use feedback. They know that when we are using feedback, the students can learn better and they become active participants in the process of learning. Something very interesting is that when feedback is present in the classroom, the term yet is always part of all the conversations that may be taken in the classroom, because usually students may tend to say, I can't do it. So the immediate answer given by the teacher is, you can't do it yet. In this way, she's encouraging the students to go on trying. It is important to strike the fact that feedback is related to teaching and learning. Why? Because both teachers and students benefit from it. Why? Because the students can learn their process, can improve their process of learning, and at the same time, teachers can improve their practices. That's why it is very important to encourage students to speak in the classroom, especially during the process of learning. For this reason, it is crucial to create this culture of feedback because when it is present in the classroom, the teachers encourage the students to develop a growth mindset and cooperative work. Cooperative work is not as present as it should be nowadays, in spite of the fact that new methodologies are being implemented. Why? Because we need to insist on the fact that learning is a social act. This means that we need others when we need to learn something. First, the students need to be together so that when they are together, they can create a sort of framework which they use to support one another. And gradually, they are in the process of becoming independent. So this means that little by little, they will become less dependent on this initial framework that they created in order to improve their learning. Something that is also of paramount importance is that feedback and metacognition form a binomial. They are very important, and when we use feedback in the classroom, we are encouraging our students to give their own impressions about their learning. That's why when they are using feedback, metacognition is present. Why? Because they can reflect on their own learning and they can discover what is working and what is not working, and they can provide solutions to the problems they are having together. Because usually the problems that students have in learning are shared by the whole community of students, by the whole group. That's why, if it is necessary, we should devote a whole class to dealing with feedback. And in this way, when the students are treating shared problems or shared difficulties, they become more confident because they know that they can improve difficulties, they can overcome difficulties they are having in the process of learning together. Remember that union makes strength. When they are together, they become more confident. So this means that feedback is action. We cannot ignore the movement that it encourages in the classroom. Why? Because it encourages students to become active participants in the process of learning. We are still having traces of the traditional method in which the students are passively seated listening to their teachers. So I think that this is a waste of time because we are in the 21st century and we need to encourage students to become active participants in the process of learning. And when they discover where they are going, how they are doing, and what steps should be taken in their own process, they realize that they can do something, that they can improve their learning by themselves. Isn't it amazing? So that when the students feel that they are capable of doing that, feedback become a permanent element in the classroom. Sometimes, or usually still at present, feedback is unidirectional. This means that it is usually provided by the teacher, and this is a big mistake. Why? Because it has to be multidirectional. That is to say, it should be given up, down, and across. That is to say, it should be given from teacher to students, student to teachers, and students to students. So when feedback is circulating freely in the classroom, it becomes richer and much more effective. So I think that when you use feedback in the classroom, you do it in the same way. Unfortunately, it is not as common as it should be. So we should encourage teachers to use feedback because we know how effective it is. And besides, students need feedback. Sometimes little children come to your, come to your desk and they tend to say, Miss, am I doing well? Am I a good student? Oh my God, this means that we are not giving enough feedback. So when we start realizing that feedback is powerful, it is empowering, and the class is no longer a place for judgment, but a place for empowerment, we really give the real meaning feedback has in the classroom.
Patricia, for your...
Hi, Sagarita.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Nice to see you. Fine.
Yeah, good to see you, Leila Jacob also. Good to see you, Mumtaz.
Same to you, Sagarika, and happy to see all of you.
Yes.
Hello,
Thank you,
Sagarika.
Patricia, for your insight.
Hello, G. Hello, G.
Wonderful discussions. I think that feedback encourage is not student, but also encourage teachers and other persons. So then the purpose of giving feedback is to improvement of situations to the person's performance. You won't accomplish that by being harsh, critical and offensive. You will likely get much more from people when your approach is positive and focused on improvement. So feedback, I think that feedback more essential and important to speed our every work. In this stage, I would like to, Yogesh, please unmute your microphone.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Why does feedback play
Yes,
an essential
sure,
role in
sure.
learning? Why does feedback play an essential
Yeah.
role in learning? Why does feedback play an essential role in learning?
Yes, I got it.
Yes.
I got it. First of all, feedback is the mirror of education.
Yes.
Just listen, feedback is a mirror of education. If you don't take feedback, so you can't judge the academic level of your participants, though it may be student, it may be teacher, or it may be your stakeholder. So feedback must be there. When we take feedback, we can achieve our learning outcomes, the level of learning outcomes, at which level the student has understood our syllabus, our programs, our evaluation pattern. So I think feedback must be there. When our stakeholders gives us feedback, so that time we come to know that which content, which material they have understood or which material they haven't understood. So when they express their thoughts, their feelings while speaking, while writing, we come to know that they might have understood the basic skills, the important skills which are mentioned that they must achieve it. So feedback is also there. And in our syllabus, as traditional way or modern way, when we get feedback, that time we get the proper evaluation of our work, because only when our stakeholders give us feedback, that time we have some suggestions to improve our program, to improve some of things, to redesign our content, or to rebuilding the shape of our stakeholders. So that time also we have to need of our feedback. And at last time, when we take feedback, that time each and every stakeholder, they participate actively. So to channelize each and every member, when we think that they must speak, they must express, they must reflect their thoughts, their suggestions. So feedback is the best way to allow our stakeholders to express their thoughts, their opinions. So in our academic planning, academic session, we must have take feedbacks from our stakeholders. When we work at block level, district level, state level, when we design any brochure, any module, and before administrating that module at state level, we take a pilot study. So feedback is also important to take pilot study of our project. The initial phase, what is the initial phase? what are the drawbacks or what are the main points which are left from our memory, from our thoughts. So every time we must take feedback from our stakeholders, our teachers, our students, to improve ourselves, to improve their CPD, continuous professional development, to redesign our program, to reshape our module, and to rebuild the boost, to boost our system. So feedback is important. Thank you.
Thank you, Jogesh, for your informative and insightful discussions. We have learned lots of things about your discussions. Thanks to again. In this stage, I would like to Shagorika unmute your microphone. Why is student feedback important? Just student.
Yeah, student feedback, yes. Very well said. Hello, everybody on this platform. Good to see all of you all. And I've heard Patricia also speak about, and also Mr. Yogesh Sonone also, he spoke about feedback. Yes, with respect to students, as Patricia has already affirmed, you know, that it is for correction and it is motivating and empowering, you know. But then the thing is that if there is a feedback always attached to any learning with respect to learners, there is always curiosity. Because when children are aware that there is going to be a feedback, so feedback is also a kind of recapitulation. It's also a kind of recapitulation wherein when you have a feedback, you find out the gaps. It is a gap analysis. And when you have a gap analysis between the learning and the learned, it is a gap analysis between the learning and the learned. And the moment you know that, then you can better your methodologies, you know. So teacher training will also depend on feedback. And also for these children, what happens is, if feedback is a ongoing process, feedback actually should be always an ongoing process, so that, you know, they know that they have to excel each and every time. So what happens, you have regular assessments, always you have these ongoing assessments. Now, ongoing assessments, why do we have it? If we just have the ongoing assessments, it makes no sense of having them unless you don't have a feedback mechanism. So in fact, now the word feedback, according to me, should be a feed forward. It should be a feed forward wherein we don't look back to what happened, but we look forward. We create a pathway, we create a road map for each and every learner. Once we recognize the gap, we are able to create a roadmap. That is, what would be the areas of improvement, what would be the areas where maybe this particular learner, if he has fared very well, could also involve himself or indulge himself in peer learning and teaching. Because peer learning and teaching, if you see the learning pyramid, peer learning of teaching is 90% of the learning takes place through peer learning. Our children learn better when they learn it from their own peers. So these children, once we have the feedback mechanism with us, and when we see that a child is really excelling in one particular topic, we can use that child's learning as peer learning in the classroom to enhance the whole atmosphere of learning in the class. And that is where we can raise the bar of learning. It's very important. So feed forward is also raising your own bar of teaching and learning. And when we talk of assessments are only a part of, a part of knowing whether the whole process of teaching and learning has gone well. But then without a feedback or a feed forward, assessment is absolutely meaningless. So for a student, when the student knows this, it is really empowering for the child to know wherever the child has the gaps and needs to bridge those particular gaps. And also you could change the learning methodologies, because when we talk of learners, we've got various kind of learners. We've got kinesthetic learners, we've got cognitive learners, you know, we've got various kind of learners, we've got audio visual learners. So when you have all these different kind of learners, you find out the right method, because one method of teaching and learning doesn't suit all. We know it very well. As one dress doesn't suit all, the teaching and learning method also doesn't suit all. So these feedback, feed forward, it actually helps us to find out what could be the best method of teaching a particular topic so that the whole class, the whole ecosystem is in sync in learning and all of them are excelling at the same time. So this is what is the difference it has in a child's life. And in a child's life, it is not a fear factor that you're putting it with assessments. If you attach feedback to assessment, because then the child knows that, okay, assessment is a part of improvement. It's an ongoing process. And each and every time I have an assessment, I'm only going to get better, but not worse. You know, so this is, it also feed forward also plays on the psychology of the child. It very much plays on the psychology of the child, where the child is wired. The child is absolutely wired not to take this process negatively, but to take this process positively. And there are various methods with children wherein you can take after every chapter, you know, you can take, there are beautiful smileys, there are beautiful forms. If you Google these forms, you know, you can, they are all printable forms available on Google. You can print a form and you can circulate it. We do that, you know, with all our students. We print various forms from Google. We ask them to fill it up, and after every chapter, we ask them to stick it on the book. So when they stick it on the book, it is the KWLH method also, you know, how much you know, how did you learn, what did you learn, and what more do you want to learn. So that is where you arouse the curiosity of the child. Like, for example, we have the topic of how does if say suppose in middle school, we have the nitrogen cycle. Okay. So how did you know about the nitrogen cycle? And then why is the nitrogen cycle important? And now what else do you want to know about the nitrogen cycle? So that is when then the child will write, then where is the where is this nitrogen cycle used in a global community? You know, how do you use the nitrogen cycle as one of the sustainable development goals for energy? You know, so all of these, because now we are going into vegan diet, we are going into plant proteins. So plant proteins, vegan diet, it's all about, you know, the whole, we are working around these oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle. So all of these at a very different stage, at a very higher stage. And these children already have so much of information. They're bombarded with information on various platforms. So, but then that inquisitiveness of how do you use the known information into an unknown situation is the actual way of learning. So this is what your feed forward takes you. It takes the learner to a different level of learning. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagarika, for your fruitful and insightful discussions. We have lots of learn from your discussions about why importance feedback about our students. So I think that since we are all of teachers, it is very important for us to appreciate the good deed of the students and much people, because good prize will help the student to be more dynamic. So I think that there is no alternative good feedback. In this stage, I would like to, Laila, please unmute your microphone. Laila Jacob, please unmute your microphone. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I have just questions. What strategy can be used to promote effective feedback?
All right. Good evening to one and all present over here. Actually, we were discussing about the importance of feedback in the classroom. I believe that an ideal teacher should always look forward to get the feedback from the students. In my opinion, not only from the students, but also from the authorities, the co-teachers, as well as the parents too. Why I say not only from the students, because students will be thinking that if I write something negative in the feedback form, it may have some repercussions in his grade, because we know very well that most of the, whenever we get some feedback form, what do? We always, I am telling you very frankly, what we do, we always try to please. Usually we do like that. If you are going to buy, if you have purchased something, or if you are already participated in something, or in a seminar or workshop, then you get the feedback form, you will be rating the resource person. Immediately, if you know that the person has not done properly, then also you will be forced to give, yes, very good, or outstanding. We will not give poor. We will not give average. We will be always willing to give outstanding. But the same feedback will be given to the other person, especially in the case of the uh, teaching I am dealing. The feedback should be taken from our co-teachers, our in charges, or even the parents too. Because the studies or the teaching, it should be user friendly. We cannot identify and tell that only the students are there in the classroom, or we are giving or imparting the knowledge only to the students. They are in the classroom for 6 hours or 5 hours. Rest of the time they are at home. So they should know how to tell whenever in front of you, they will be appreciating you because they are afraid. But when you are not with them, they may react in another way. But anyway, the feedback in the classroom is very, very important. Just like our Patricia mom, as well as Sagarika mom also told about feed forward. And Patricia mom has already told that it is an ongoing process. I do agree. Follow-up and feedback, they are already helping us, just like the fuel for the engine. The engine will not work without the fuel. So fuel for the engine, the teacher should know that where I am, what I have imparted has already gone into the minds of the children. So for that, firstly, we have to create a user-friendly or a friendly atmosphere in the classroom. Then you prepare the feedback form. Then you will get that exact what you want to get from the students. Otherwise, I don't think it is going to work out in that particular manner. More than that, we have to tell the children that why the feedback form is already been given. We have to tell that it is going to assess a particular matter, how much you have already understood. A specific time should be given. Feedback should not be given within 1 month. It should be given within 1 or 2 days exactly. And more than that, when we get the feedback form, we have to ensure that whether the child has already applied critical thinking and creativity, because in most of the feedback form, it will be given one particular question will be there. Any suggestions you want to give? How many teachers are willing to give? Any suggestions do you want to give? We all think that we are the masters. We are the masters and they are only the slaves. No. Now they are the masters and we are the slaves. That situation has already come. So we have to think that the feedback form should have that particular question too, objective as well as descriptive too. That is, we have to ask them whether that particular matter or topic has already helped them to develop creative thinking as well as critical thinking too. If that particular feedback form is enabling them to do so, I will say that it is a user-friendly feedback form. It will help the teacher to analyze her teaching and she will be able to make more and more improvements in the methodology and she will be able to impart education in a very effective and efficient manner. She will try to use all sorts of materials and all sorts of her knowledge, and more than that, she will be focused on the child's latent potentials. That is what it.
What's the time there, Patricia?
Yes,
Yeah,
Laila.
it is
Just
11 o'clock in the morning.
Laila. Laila, please continue your space.
And in your country, almost
It's,
9, 8.
evening. Yeah. No, 7:30 in the evening.
Ah,
Hmm.
7 in the evening.
Now
Okay,
Bangladesh, just 8.
8.
Right. Laila, please continue your space.
Yeah, I was telling that the feedback form should have these particular qualities. It should be focused on the assessment basis. It should be allowed the children to express their views very freely. More than that, it should be based on timely submission and it should be user friendly, and it should try to get the proper feedback without having any fear in the minds of the children, so that it can work as a fuel for the engine, just like the teachers are always trying to move, and feedback should be always, the feedback form should be feed forward. This is what I wanted to say.
How far are you?
Hello, Laila. Have you
Yeah.
finished your speech?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for your insightful and fruitful discussions. I think that, and I agree with you, feedback is a kind of a compliment that speed up the work. So we should all, I appreciate everyone's work. If we appreciate the good work of our gifted and student in the classroom, other students will be ready to do the same. If we use different compliments to enliven the learning in the classroom, then the learning ability of the students will be stronger. I think everyone likes to hear praise, so we should praise the good deed of our students. Thanks again, Laila. Uh, Here is the in this platform we have seen just Shailesh Shrestha. Please unmute
Yeah,
your microphone and
yeah,
just if you want to say something, please you can about our today's topic.
yeah. Am I audible? Yes. I think the way we are talking the topic is so much nice, but it's some kind of blind pit where I'm working. I'm from Maharashtra, and actually, feedback and all these things is not, unfortunately, the feedback which we are expecting from the authorities, the officers, and the teachers and the students and the parents, but there is no working combination which is I'm expecting from the department, because uh, I mean, feedback is only the assessment, the examination is there. That is the only way. Unfortunately, most of the schools in India, especially the government school, you know what we are talking now, it's a really far uh, big thing from, even from the officers. Okay, even though you are going to record this, but I still dare to say that even after that. Okay, we have a very less officers like Yogesh Sonawne sir. It is a very nice talking to talk with the educators like Honorable Sagrika ma'am, Patricia have been just doing a great work and just sharing her ideas and all these things. You know, beside this room, this 6, 7, 8, 10, or 15 peoples, there are huge uh, scope is there that feedback is nothing. I would like to give one example that right now there is one activity we are doing, and that is assessment, online assessment, because we are not teaching nowadays, we are just doing assessment, and that is the big simplest thing, to take examination of the student. That is the, it is difficult in this situation to teach them. Now what we are doing here, especially I'm talking in Maharashtra, is there is one swadhyay which is assessment, and we are giving online some questions to the student, MCQs kind of, and we are just, but there is no uh, availability and internet access and lot of other problems. But even after that, our authorities insist teachers that instead of parents, you complete that all at your home, instead of doing that by the parents. And they want just a number. Suppose in a class, if there is 40 students, what is our authorities expecting? If we are just telling to our officer, sir, listen to us there are some problems in the assessment, they says don't tell that all problems. If there are 40 students, at least you have to complete it 35 students, and they all are officers.
And I think that baseline assessment also failed very badly.
Yeah.
Baseline.
Yeah. We are supposed to do that for to get something good, because we are having a lot of learning loss nowadays. More than 1 year. What kind of assessment? What kind of feedback? This is for us only. It is for Mumtaz. It is for Mumtaz Rukhsana ma'am. It is for Patricia ma'am. This is the topic for us to discuss. We are discussing with those people who know the importance of feedback in learning teaching process. Unfortunately, there are thousands of teachers, especially I'm talking about India. There are thousands of teachers, even the officers. They are supposed to be very intellectual because they have crashed some examination and come on that post. What we are expecting from them? We are expecting that you should take opinion, you should consider opinions of teachers and students. Actually, teacher is the person who is really working on the ground level. There are some policy makers over there in the AC rooms, and they said that you just go in the villages and just complete that online assessment and all these things. It will not possible. It is not like that. And even most of the authority person know that it is not possible. If we give them a feedback about that what kind of work is we are doing and how it is not working, they say, shut up. You are just a teacher. You are supposed to complete.
India, yeah.
But that's not fair.
Yeah, that's rural. That's how rural India works, and that is how the public sector is. Whereas there is actually what happens in India. There is a very big gap between the private and the public sector. So what we are doing today, we are all doing it in private sector, but in public sector, it's very different. It's very different. The whole ideology is very different, and he comes from the public sector. So this is where you can differentiate the public and the private sector in India, because the gap is huge. The gap is huge. Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree with you, Shailesh ji. Absolutely. But I think we need to do our best. We need to do our best, come what may.
We are having this.
Because we've got a conscience to answer. We've got a conscience to answer. That's it. Yeah.
We are having the same problem here in Argentina, and I think that it is across the world.
It's across the world, yeah. So the gap is huge. The gap is huge, yeah.
And something very important we need to bear in mind is that we cannot expect anything from the government, because we are responsible for educating our students. So what we normally do as innovative educators is to implement feedback in the classroom, because we know that it is important. I know that parents are always asking for marks because they are still having heads that are related to the traditional method. So they were educated in that way, and they expect their children to be educated in the same way. And this is a big mistake. That's why it is important to prepare parents to the type of education the students are receiving in the 21st century, especially if they are attending schools in which innovation is present. So what we can do is to remember that the place for this transformation in education we are having at the moment is the classroom. So this can be an institutional regulation. The principal of the school may decide, okay, we will follow the instructions given by the government. They want marks, okay, we will give them marks, but let us use feedback in the classroom because we feel that it is important. And we are here today because we need to spread the word that feedback is important, because there are still teachers who are not fond of using feedback, and we know from experience that it is useful, and the students are asking for it, even grown-ups at the university, because some minutes ago I gave an example of a child asking for feedback in the classroom. But when students are at college or at university, they do need feedback, and it is not given either. So by the end of the term, they may come to the teacher and say, sorry, madam, but do you think I'm prepared to sit for this examination? Because they need to know how they are doing. And this information is not given because marks are usually present. And feedback sometimes is not taken into account when it is given because the students are used to receiving marks. And as feedback is not usually taken into account, well, they concentrate on the marks they are getting to see if they are having good results in the course they have taken. So today the students are studying just to pass an examination. They are not learning. And this is
Yeah, they're not
encouraged by
learning.
the
Yeah,
teachers
learning is
themselves.
not happening. Yes. They are just doing things to pass examination.
Yes,
So I think that is
because
something that we need to change. The whole narration has to change.
and we are responsible for that.
We are responsible. Absolutely, absolutely. So the thing is that whatever, I mean, come what may, just leave things apart. But we as educators, when we are in the classroom, at least we should be doing it. The little change that we can bring about, Shailesh ji, I think we are responsible. Let us forget the government, forget people, what they are doing. What we are doing matters most. So बोलते ना बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है. तो ठीक है, करो अपन हाड़ू हाड़ू करूँ थोड़ी सी.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly we are doing that, but it is not a real feedback in that manner. I want to say.
It is not. It is not. We all know
Yes.
that. We all know that.
There
But
is
it's
no
okay.
problem in between the feedback of teacher and student. We know that what is the problem of teachers, even student and the parents. There is no problem in the relationship as far as the feedback in between teacher and student. But the problem comes when the government is taking information from teachers. Should we continue that program? You want to, they should ask us that what kind of changes we are expecting from government, because on the ground level we are doing that work. So we know the ground problems of the student, and that this is what we want to say, that we are also important part. Every time in India, the employees is an officer, there is a officer, the senior officer, the teacher. A teacher is supposed to be a very lower kind of person, but teacher is very important. The officers sitting in the AC room and order to the teacher. We are not that kind of employee. We are very important pillar, and what we are sharing with the government is really important. I can say if there are 40 students in my class, I say everything is okay, sir, no problem, very good, challenge, continue. I will get good feedback from my officer, but I know that it is not working. No, this is not a appropriate feedback. It is not. I mean, that is the. If I just think about what other teachers is thinking, then it will be okay for me. But I know before sleeping every night, we have to ask one question to ourselves. Especially when you are educator, we have to ask one question: are you really doing the justice to your profession? And sometime I realize that there is a room of improvement, and it is always I'm doing good job but not great. I hope with the help of the speeches, with the help of some of the good thoughts from you. Otherwise, if I'm discussing this with my colleagues, they will refuse me. But because you all are my colleagues, I am feeling that if we can build a school where we all are teachers, that will be a very dream school. Because you can understand, Sagrika ma'am, what I say. Patricia ma'am, even you are not from my country, but the feeling is there common in the world, and that is the feeling of a true teacher. That's it.
Thank
Yes,
you,
you're
Shailesh
right,
Gupta,
and I
sir,
agree with you.
everybody in the stage. Bhola Chaudhary, sir, please unmute your microphone. Bhola Chaudhary first time has joined us. He is Indian teacher. Bhola Chaudhary, sir, please unmute your microphone.
Hello everybody, Namaste from India, myself Bhola Chaudhary. Actually I am very busy at this time, but I am listening all of you, all your thoughts. At this time I am unable to do any discuss at this time, so please pardon me. Thank you.
It's okay, sir. Talukdar, sir, please unmute your microphone. Okay.
Hello everyone, how are you?
Hi,
That's
Fine.
good.
what about you?
Look nice,
well.
look nice.
Sir, I have a question.
I was busy to talking with other people, that's why I am a bit late. Anyway, I was listening all of you up to the point where I joined. Anyway, Mamutaz is doing very hard labor, and she is every day getting out some new topic, which is very excellent and exciting also. Every topic is very important to decorate our education system, not only the class, total system. The important thing is that nobody can improve without having any feedback from his own or from his surrounding, whatever the task is. As a mother, when your children is telling, "Mom, you cook very nice," you inspired, and second time you try to make it more better. And by yourself, when you feel by wearing a dress, oh, in front of mirror, I look nice. That's good. I can go with this outside of the house. That's the feedback, simple feedback. So we take it very, very simply why we need feedback. But the question is that understanding level and exercise. If you go through with science and the evolution of science, which bring us up to this modern age, and this is not so far, only when Galileo just first said Earth is moving around the sun. After that, we have to wait long time. Then Newton came and he just tell us some of the formulas, and to prove his formulas, he also invented a new branch of mathematics, calculus. And then we just going Max Planck and so other, thereby Einstein. Still now, we know only the 30% of the energy which is around us. We don't know the nature of 70% of energy which is out of our mindset. So quantum mechanics and other string theories are already start to work there. Why this is happening? Due to feedback. Because before Galileo, if anybody wanted to give any feedback, the rulers tell, oh, you have to cut down his head. Don't need any feedback. We are as well as before. Why you are coming with some new ideas? That's really the basic to improve of our society. Even in case of Einstein, when he invented that energy is but light. Once it is like a particle, one is like a package of energy. But everybody was arguing, they're giving feedback, why you are telling like that? So new things are getting in the mind of scientists, and they start to think newly due to the feedbacks. Still now, new ideas is coming due to the feedback. And this is a very large arena. But if we go in our simple arena, in our classroom, what happened there? First of all, our school curriculum is designed in that way. They're pushing their children to cross the class, not to comprehend a lot of ideas. That's one drawback. You know, when the classroom is activity oriented, then feedback will come automatically. Children will ask again and again why this is happening, why these are not happening. And teacher will think, oh, what is my drawbacks? Why should I not take off with the children? So he will start to give feedback. Children will get the ideas, and again, they will give the feedback. Some new ideas will generate in the class. So totally the learning process will change. It is not in the third world, even it is in a first world, the same thing is happening there. Because school administration or the sector always looking how and what is the number children just across the class, and what are the grade they get in their national exams. So there is a really very little scope to use the feedback from total plan. But the feedback, what the Sagarika told just a few minutes ago, if the government is not doing anything, What is our duty to accelerate it? That's really now challenge for us. We don't want to look over the government. Government is thinking by crossing a lot of factors. He is not only giving attention to the education. He is thinking if I just change a little here, then in other side, it will affect maybe positively or maybe negatively. So that's another big factor. You know, United Nations and the other big organization where the people are working, they're working for a total nation. But if you think deeply, how far they are doing for the people who are poor. Now, this is not out of question. Their policy is not out of question. Still now, if there is UNICEF, why in India, why in Bangladesh, why in Pakistan, people are not still able to creating any interactive classroom in their rural and suburban areas? That's another big question. It means we all are doing drama. Unless and until if we don't stop doing our drama, we might not able to progress by any means. That's another big problem. Because you know why I am telling it. It's related with the morality, with the religious, obviously. And I saw some of the program of Sagarika. She is supporting religious in order to improve the mindset of the people. Even a few days ago, Sagarika was working in ISKCON. Maybe she's with some kernel, she's pushing and something doing. Anyway, that's really very good model for other people to follow. You know, in India, his guru, Sai Guru, most probably, he is talking about many items and things all over the world, especially about the religious and science. He's trying to make a one good point why people are not working. Even last days, I just listened his voice. He's telling, okay, science is doing a lot of work, but still now, within our body, we cannot able to make a frame out of our memories. Why this is happening? Out of memories, there are a lot of many things. In consciousness, he was talking about the consciousness. So what is consciousness? Why people became unconscious when they are just treated in a before the operation, anesthesia. He just tell that unconsciousness is two kind. Whenever you are doing some work, you are just people are not getting any sense, but after wake up, they feel, oh, some moments were gone where he had not understand anything. But in some unconsciousness factor, when people goes there, after coming back, even he cannot memorize how long he was unconscious. If we just consider about the Mediterranean, the people who are doing meditation, especially in Pak Bharat region for the Sufism, many people are just following meditation and they are just talking. There are a lot of things out of science. Still now, I believe it. Why? The reason is that, very simple, we can see anything due to our eye. We can touch anything due to our hand. We can listen something due to our ear. We can take in taste. But there are many articles around us which we cannot get sense directly. We have to use some of the articles or some of the device indirectly which prove that the existence is there. For example, air, maybe particles, maybe energy. But out of that, we have a lot of things to know. When any new invention is coming, still now people are thinking, what are the new invention? But it proved that we are working within a certain frame. If you consider an animal, we are talking by ourselves, we are the best, with some reasoning. But you know, the ants, they have a very good social environment, and they are doing a marketing, they are going either and they have a king and other things. Even if we consider a bee, they can go far and far and they can come back in their correct direction, though the earth is moving. So many more intelligence are there within the animal. Maybe still now we don't know that what are the nature. Still now we have to do a lot for that. In that sense, if we consider we are working within a frame, we don't know what is outside of the frame. Right now, people are telling there is a lot of inverse, not only one inverse. If the inverse just collapse, then we have to jump over another inverse. How should we go there? They are thinking about the quantum mechanics, which still now we have no idea. Right, that in our education arena, many indigenous innovation is very good for our rural area. If you consider Akbar, he was an emperor of the India once. And he has a very good idea about how to teach the children. Though Akbar never studied in any school. It's maybe in Shikam or something, Shikka, maybe. So he told the teacher, you have to go and draw the picture on the ground. With that picture, you have to utter the sound so the children will able to understand. So now you think intelligent people how think, how to give the feedback, how to get the feedback and how to improve the children. But in modern age, we fail to do it because we are selfish. Very simple. Everybody wanted a lot of money and we want to show that we are superior than you in terms of materials, not in terms of ideas. That is really happening, especially in third world. So here we have to understand why we need feedback. For that, at first, teacher will engage or proactive. Otherwise, nobody can activate them. Maybe this is a backdated syllabus. Still now, after having a mini lecture, teacher can arrange a feedback session. What you have understood out of this, what I understand, let us think about it. Can you give me any example from the nature or around you, how we can think faster for that? And for getting feedback, activity-based learning is very important. Without that, we cannot arrange such kind of feedback session. One simple story I am just telling. One of primary school teacher, she is talking with me for 2 or 3 weeks. She had a lot of thinking in her brain. She told me, I will make one STEAM corner where the children will go. She's living in a rural area that after 3 classes, teacher usually teach them in a traditional way. Maybe sometimes they are using some demonstration, but they are not making the children hands-on. So I am thinking after 3 days, if 2 or 3 teachers arrange some program like that, they will just find out some of the problem depending on their 3 days teaching or learning. So they will give some new problem in a room where the materials will be there. Children will start to think with their ideas. How should we have to solve this problem with the materials we have within our range? So she decided that, okay, I will do 3 corners. One is finding problem. Second is to make some hands-on work, to make some discussion, and to go to a point where we can make it conclude. So in third section, they will present their ideas, how they can solve the thing and how can do it in their home. Is it not wonderful? A rural school primary head teacher is thinking like that. So she has a lot of idea how to activate the children. If the society and people will not come out, then how she will imply those things within his or her surrounding? That's really big problem. And before that, I was listening, someone is telling that in our school, exactly with the teacher are not doing, and at the same time, we are not getting a support of government. And for that reason, we need to make a lot of webinar, a lot of writings, lot of dramas, a lot of maybe playing story. In that way, we have to make conscious our teacher and parents. So locally, some ideas will come out. Then if the civil society make a pressure to the government, then the government will think positively. Maybe it takes a long time, but this is the right time where we have to start by ourselves like this. We are talking here as because we are sharing our ideas and we are getting some new ideas. We can work with this with our teachers, with our parents, with the people of the government. Right now, what I am doing, and I just told her, if you have any new idea, you just start to share with me. And she's shared with another new ideas anyway. But the thing is that feedback is very important, as because the head teacher and managing committee, if makes some principle to apply feedback in the classroom and outside the classroom, even they can start the feedback practice in co-curriculum activities. From co-curriculum activities, they might enter into the classroom. Once it will be a habit for them. Thank you, Mabadas, for giving me opportunity to talk in the front of my esteemed colleagues. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. For we have surely we have lots of information from your insightful discussions. Our time is so limited. When all of teachers are so busy in this stage, I would like to Bhimlal Shrestha sir, just 1 minute. Your feedback about our program. Bhimlal Shrestha sir, please unmute your microphone.
Yes, please.
Just
Okay.
1 minute about, I know that you know about our today's topic. So if you want to say something, just 1 minute, you can.
Okay, I'm from Nepal. I heard so many things from you. All the seniors expressed a very nice thing. Creating a classroom culture of feedback in our country, it's a rare. It's a rare. We don't have that sorts of collecting the information from the students, and students also they do not respond as we expect. Means that whatever teacher says, the teacher is the powerful. Teacher is like the master itself. Teacher itself counted as the master. No, master means it's the boss. Whatever boss says, that is an authentic for the student, and then student follow. Means that teachers in Nepal counted as the boss and master. Whatever teacher says, that is an authentic. That is the, let's say, like rigid information for the students, and they do so on. Means that if it is likely, the teaching practices follow the traditional ways, traditional method. So here, what I would like to say that the teaching, we know that teaching is to be interactive. Teacher is to be like the student center. However, it could not be so, as we say, theoretically. Means that we may have the practice, we may have the culture of following the teachers, respecting the teachers. Whatever teacher said, we have to follow, we have to receive it. We have that sorts of the culture. Because of that culture, we may have a rare practice of the culture of feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhimlal Shrestha sir, for your great sharing us. So we are all of teacher, and now we are all of so busy. Now we will finish. Will everyone permission? Many thanks for making the program a success for long. Thank you because today's 20 episode has been completed with your great cooperation.
Excellent. Very good. Good going. Good going.
Right.
Congratulations.
We are doing these things because we all love the country. We need to be very aware of global epidemic. We have to make arrangements to keep ourselves healthy and others healthy. So stay safe. See you next week within a new topic.
Mumtaz,
All the best. Until then, God bless you all.
Mumtaz,
Thank
Yes.
thank you.
one question to my friend Vimlaj, whether he is enjoying his work as a boss or a teacher.
You can. Yes.
I want to ask my friend from Nepal whether he is enjoying his work as a boss or as a teacher.
Okay. In Nepal, teachers are to be like the friend, but teachers
I'm-
also sometimes we will be seeing they also showing their Bushism, no?
Yeah.
And in a sense that they are ready to beat the students too. They scold.
Yeah.
And teachers always want the students to do as he or she says. No, these are the qualities or the characteristics of the Bushism, no? That is why teachers are not the teachers, facilitators. They are like the master. Master itself called the Bush, no? Thank you.
If maximum teacher will join such kind of programs, there will be a transformation, I hope.
It might be, sure.
Thank you. Thanks a
Let's
lot.
hope.
And rest of
Beating is another problem. You know, especially in our social life, in maximum family, parents are
Yeah.
beating their children if they
Yeah.
are not following the parents' instructions. Even a little, when a little thing did by the children, even parents start to shout and scolding the children.
I don't know what happens in Bangladesh, but in Nepal, they beat the children at home, and then we have to follow
Right.
the same kind of the practice at school also.
Yes,
Because
I want to say the same thing. When the children are out of control in a home, they are thinking, okay, if the teacher behave well, okay, I will not listen. If the teacher will beat me, then I will do something. Ultimately, it became a part of the culture. So only school might not stop it.